In this video, we'll be looking at Monofilter by Nugent Audio and how we can use it to process a bass sound in our project. This will ensure better mono compatibility and less phase issues occurring when we play the track back across a number of different playback systems. In this project, I've got a number of bass sounds that I've used for the drop section. I've sent them all into the same summing channel as a very similar sounds, so we can process them together. I've placed an instance of the Monofilter onto the bus channel, followed by an instance of Logic's Multimeter and also a utility gain with the mono set to on but the plugin turned off, so we can reference how the bass sounds when it's collapsed to mono. To the left of Monofilter we have the input control zone. You can select left, right or stereo. We also have separate mid and side controls, so we could turn up the side signal of this bass, which will make the bass sound a little bit wider, but will still maintain mono compatibility as we're leaving the mid signal untouched. The side signal is the difference between the left and right channels, so increasing this is not going to introduce any phase issues. In the main section of Monofilter we have the filter process and stereo analysis section. We have a high pass frequency control, a high pass cutoff. So we can very quickly just set this to around 30 Hz to cut off any real low rumble in the bass, which we don't need. And we have our low width and low frequency controls and high width and high frequency controls. Using this we can mono the low frequency of our bass sound very easily and effectively. Setting the low frequency to around 200 Hz and the low width to 0% means everything below 200 Hz will be collapsed to mono. And we can set the high frequency to something a bit higher. We know that the high frequencies can be spread out wide. They're not going to phase so badly when they collapse to mono. We can now reference how the bass sounds collapse to mono. We can't hear too many phase issues occurring. In the middle section of Monofilter we have the algorithm settings. We can select a zero latency mode, we have to stop playback to set it. Or we can select linear phase. The zero latency is a latency algorithm designed for use when immediate audio throughput is required. However, the linear phase is a transparent option with a slight process latency. Nugent Audio recommend the linear phase mode for mixing and mastering purposes. You can switch in a high quality process. This will increase the CPU hit. Something to bear in mind if you're using multiple instances of Monofilter in this way. The bottom of Monofilter we have the phase correlation control and analysis section. This provides controls for adjustment of the phase correlation of the left and right input, alongside analysis showing correlation by frequency. We can change the view of the analysis over to the right here if we prefer a slightly different frequency, more detailed frequency graph. We can set the phase shift here by adjusting this slider, or we can select the auto phase, which will have Monofilter compare the correlation of the incoming signal and adjust for maximum correlation automatically. Now let's take a look at the multimeter that we have here. For starters, let's look at this correlation control. We can see the bass sound is correlating really well. It's over in the green over to the right. If I turn Monofilter off, we can see a lot more movement, and it's heading over towards the middle or left side where it goes red. The quality of the correlation is reduced now. We turn Monofilter back on and look at the output modes here, as we can solo the mono frequency content. You can see that's mostly the low frequency content on a bass. We can solo the stereo now. You can see the only stereo content we have is the high frequency. Which is going to ensure better playback across a number of systems, including the club systems, which tend to be in mono, and tablets and phones, but still maintaining a nice stereo image. And also when collapsed to mono, still retains punch and power in that bass sound. Be sure to check out Monofilter by Nugent Audio, which is available now at adsrsounds.com.